here to tell you. There's no question that the sky is the limit. But don't miss this moment.
One of the things that's exciting about this conference is that we're actually standing at this reception in a manifestation of two companies coming together, Brassville and Gorey, as well as Benchmark Management, which is an African-American female-owned engineering and construction management firm that built this project. And so it's about empowering women that are in business, leveling the playing field, and as it pertains particularly to construction, engineering, and related services.
On behalf of Benchmark Management, the Executive Planning Committee, I want to welcome you to this WICERS conference. Have fun, network, enjoy yourself, and come up with innovative ideas that will bring the next generation of innovation to our industry.
My name is Daphne Bryson Jackson, and it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the inaugural WICERS conference.
I want to make sure that all women have a fair shot and a fair shake. And while I'm mayor of the city of Atlanta, I'm going to use the city of Atlanta as a platform to do it. And this is about being first to the future. I think that this is going to be the century of women and women leadership and women entrepreneurs. And to the extent that you empower women in construction and engineering spaces, to non-traditional spaces, you really are moving the city forward and the state forward.
I often tell my staff, don't think about technology today, think about technology tomorrow, because we have to be ahead of the curve.
We recognize infrastructure is a job creator. And so I think that's really important to highlight, and how you create those jobs and make sure that people are included into those opportunities.
Raising a daughter, you kind of see the world a little differently. As a woman, you want to instill in her strength and being feminine and being courageous and so many different skills, and you are beginning to think of the world as just a different place where women really can do anything.
Well, thank you for your question, because it does get down to the milk and cranny of how do we get more contracts. Anyone know about how to get more contracts, right? That's what we want to know. We actually thrive on having strategic alliance memorandums in place, partnerships, our MOUs with entities that are being inclusive and also they're being innovative.
There are ways to get that money in your pocket so you can put it in your business and grow it, versus having to wait and wait and wait, which just is really untenable sometimes.
What I'm getting out of this conference is an opportunity just to learn from people that have been doing this a little bit longer than I have. Learning and absorbing knowledge and transferring knowledge, and it's all of the above.
So we now have a tremendous number of engineering positions that are open. And so I would hope one of you would want to take on one of those jobs and would apply. And if you come there with the right skills, we will give you every opportunity to succeed.
The United States Small Business Administration realized that over 98% of the economy is ran off of small business. Women make up a huge part of that. And so we're making certain that they have access to capital, contracting, and counseling opportunities.
So I would say to you that to open yourself up to the folks, to allow those people to come into your circle, because it's surprising and they can come from very different places.
Get involved and engaged, because there are people and organizations that are here to help you.
So the key to me is having a little talk with yourself. You're right, you got to have a little business session, and you got to write some things down, you got to consult some people, and then you really got to look at what you've already been enjoying in life, because your it is there. You just have to spend time with yourself discovering it and then doing something about it.
I've met some incredible people, and I've got their business cards, and I'm going to ask them to come to San Francisco and participate in our program. I just think that this conference is really exciting.
I was barely 30, right? And I looked younger, but I had on my cute suit and my fancy shoes and my nice briefcase, and I'm sitting in the conference room, and the guy, the opposing counsel, walked in, and before I could stand up and say, my name is Glenda Hatchett Johnson, because I would always sign just G. Hatchett Johnson, Angie, back in those days. I stood up. I was about to stand up to introduce myself, and he said, "We'll get started when your boss gets here." Fast forward, I won that case on preliminary motions, which is unheard of in an antitrust case because he underestimated me.
And she was asking me what I made. I was like almost afraid to tell her. And she was like, "Oh my God, you have to ask for double of that." And I was like, "Oh, no way, no way, no way can I ask for double." And she said, "Nancy, in fact, you need to ask for more than double because A, that's what you're worth, and B, that's what these firms are paying, and you've got to do it." I was a nervous wreck. And you know what? I did it, and I was like, holy crap, I'm not only gonna get that. Had another firm call me and they said, "Well, what are they offering you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not comfortable." "Well, we'll up ours, $5,000. So it just goes to show you, you have to ask.
I think I would have guided myself not to drive so hard. Learn to say no. Don't try and do it all. My children say, "Oh no, we're fine, we're great." But when you leave your child at daycare in the morning and you're thinking, "Oh, am I doing the right thing?" And then you go to work and you work all day and bring your cell phone once they're invented back to carry around all night. I think smell the roses.
If you're not moving that joint and you're holding, that's isometric. You can do that sitting at your chair. For example, an abdominal one would be to squeeze your core 10 to 15 seconds and release. Now, while it may not seem like it's doing as much as running on a treadmill or anything like that, well, that may be true. But if you're sitting at a desk for 8 hours and you do that every 15, 20 minutes, it's going to add up.
It's going to be an incredible opportunity for anyone, especially women, that are in the disciplines that we mentioned, design, engineering, and construction. So again, I'm going to continue to highlight and emphasize, get yourself ready. And that's part of what we want to do today is to tell you how to get ready.
Think about the animal kingdom. Herds roam because, you can't just eat in this one place and survive. You must diversify where you eat.
Again, it's that double standard, but we have to remember that really what this is about is the disconnect with government and people who are really in need. And so that's how I see it. And on top of all of that, you have a story like this in the New York Times that then talks about what the mayor is wearing, then that really detracts from what the real issue is.
We have to lift each other up and open those doors. And doors that have closed us, we might not be able to open it individually, but if we work and stick together, we can.
We are thrilled to have with us today two young people that really, to me, exemplify what WICERS is all about. They are our future. They are the best of us. They are young, bright, talented, and really doing incredible things.
A year and a half later, we are closing on $1.5 million in funding. That's the first time I've ever said that on stage, so pretty excited about that. And we're launching with our first customers.
You do this work not just for a paycheck, not just for a potential success, not for a title. You do this work to empower a community and to show them what is possible, to transform the mindset, to show people that I am incredible, I am capable, I'm remarkable. And when we have the access to the capital, the opportunity, the contract, and all these different things, we will be able to empower the Jacobs in our lives. I ask for you, I encourage you, find your Jacob, find your purpose, find your reason, find your passion. Then you will find the real profit in life. Thank you.
But you know what, just the tiny tilt of your head sends me a message. The way that your arms across, your legs across, everything you do with your body indicates something about what you are feeling or thinking inside. If ever you notice that you are losing a listening partner while you're talking with someone, you almost have to do this. This says, I welcome a question from you now. This says, I want to pretty much control the conversation.
I realized, this is just another way to eventually get to where I was going. So just be flexible within your functions. and be willing to take on something that you may not have thought you ever had an interest.
This is a passionate part of the segment. I mean, we've had a discussion about what does it mean in the building, how do we get engaged, how are corporations defining sustainability, and then now the most important component is how are we messaging it.
The engineer in me is about measurable impact. And so whether you are in the public sector, the private sector, whether you're in entertainment, whether you are in heavy manufacturing, it's about impact.
This initiative is designed to provide an opportunity for small-scale women entrepreneurs to really do that, to grow, to excel. We will open a business incubator in downtown Atlanta that will be housed in a destination created for entrepreneurs, startups, emerging technology business leaders who will use that space solely to grow their businesses and to focus on creating new opportunities for Atlanta to further strengthen its position on the world socioeconomic stage.
I had to work out of my basement, for a while. I started to meet women who were basically, they shared the same aspirations and goals that I had. So they became my network. So the opportunity to be in space with those women would have been great.
Well, if I take you back to 1979, when Bernie Marcus and Arthur Blank opened the first 4 Home Depot stores here in Atlanta, Georgia, they wanted to have a presence of inventory, and they had no working capital to buy the inventory. So the stores were stocked with empty boxes to give an illusion. So in some ways, it's fake it till you make it, right?
Well, welcome to the awards luncheon of the inaugural Women in Construction, Engineering, and Related Services Conference, WICERS.
We have 7 states across the country that have passed laws that prohibit public contracting based upon race and gender because they think we have arrived. They think women have arrived.
So be the strongest platform you can be. Develop the greatest partnerships you can with your schools, middle and high schools. Reach as many girls as you can. And then, of course, be the express lane to the capital they need to succeed through good economic times and bad. And then remember always to ask God for His blessing. Bye-bye. Thank you all very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in the Marriott Marquis in Atlanta today, this is our moment. And so let's leave this room full of passion, full of conviction, and full of energy, and full of a new commitment to go out and be more fair, to be better, to be more open. That really is what WICERS is about. And then Jan, to you and your executive committee and to all of the people who stood up to support this amazing afternoon, let's go ahead and get ready for 2016.